Hello guys, what I thought I'd do is make a video just running through basically where I'm at with the bike, what I've done, what I've changed, what I like, what I don't like. So this is the 2023 Husqvarna 701 Enduro. I bought it brand new in April, so we're maybe, well, I had it 2 months, done about 1,000 miles now, and I'm absolutely loving the bike. It's mega. There's a few things that I wanted to change straight away. There's a few things that I planned to change before I bought the bike as well, from all the research that I'd done. Coming from the Norden, there was things that I knew I would definitely want to be changing just for sort of comfort. One of the biggest things there is the rally tower that I've added for wind protection. I'll go through each thing individually. The general sort of thoughts of the bike so far is I absolutely love it. On and off road, it's a really enjoyable bike to ride. On the back twisty B roads, I've had a lot of fun on this. Surprisingly to me as well, like with the TKC 80s on there, they're fairly impressive with what you can do with them on tarmac. Off road, it's incredible. A real joy to ride compared to the Norden. The Norden was great off road. It was really good fun, but this is just so much more capable. The suspension is incredible for my weight. Like I say, I'm probably about 70-75 kilos of all my gear. And we've set the sag. Yeah, it's mint. It's sprung for somebody of my weight from factory, so that's ideal for me. This video is proudly sponsored by BikeSure, one of the UK's leading bike insurance specialists. BikeSure are able to cater for your individual needs, whether your bike's completely standard or whether it's got extensive modifications like mine. This is why I choose BikeSure. You can give them a call and you can speak to somebody on the phone and you can go through all the modifications that you've made or not made, and you can get a quote bespoke to fit your needs. If you're interested in getting a quote, there's a link down in the description below, so just click the link and you can go through the website or give them a call. So yeah, the sort of big major changes that you can see, obviously this is the big one. This is the Carbon Fox Baja. This is the Baja Rally Kit or Rally Tower. There's a lot of options on the market for rally towers. Some of them have a lot of information about and quite popular. Some of them have less information about. This was one of them. Couldn't find that many photos or videos online of the Carbon Fox tower, but I did find somebody with one recently fitted to a gas. Spent quite a lot of time talking to him, and he sent me some good videos, which was really helpful. So I think it's Jacob. Thank you for sending that information over. It was much appreciated. Also spoke quite in depth with Carbon Fox for a while before buying it, just because it is a lot of money and I wanted to know exactly what I was getting. The website's amazing, but there's a few bits that I wasn't, didn't quite make sense to me. This top plate here, they have two different versions to match whatever you want to do. So I've got like the Explorer, I guess, one which you can mount tablets, phones, sat navs, stuff like that too. They also do one that's built for proper rally racing, so you can put your paper road book and your trick computers and whatnot on there. So yeah, the biggest thing for me for this, there was a couple of things, was wind protection. I wanted to add wind protection. Bike as standard has none. This is the proper factory KTM Husqvarna screen from Dakar from a couple of years ago, designed to reflect the air around the rider rather than over the top, and it works really, really well. I'm really happy. It's, you can sit at sort of 70 to 80 mile an hour, no problem. It's really good. So yeah, that adds a lot of wind protection, which is great. You also get upgraded headlights. So I've not ridden in the dark yet, but I can imagine when I do, I can already see the difference between the standard headlight and this is incredible. So yeah, looking forward to trying it out in the dark. And then also the ability to mount navigation units. So I use my phone for navigation. That was on the handlebar. When you're riding, stood up off-road on trails and stuff, having to look down at your handlebars at your phone just to see where the next turning might be, it's not ideal. So moving it up, more like how the Norden was, up in front of you, so it's just a little glance down to see your navigation. Is really good. So I've got the quad lock on there with the wireless charger for my phone at the moment, and then moving forward, probably into next year now, I'll be looking to add like a tablet of some sort, because I plan to do rally moto events using a digital roadbook, so that should fit in here really nicely. So yeah, that's kind of the tower covered. I've got an install video, rough install video. It's not like step by step because it takes quite some time to install something this complex, but yeah, it's a nice rundown. There's a nice detailed, more in-depth description, shall I say, on there. So if you're interested, go and have a look at that. The other things, handguards, I just transferred these over from the Norden. They're just the Bark Busters, the wraparound ones. So far, I haven't laid this bike down. The Norden I dropped quite a lot, and they never budged, never broke any levers. Other things I've added, RNG engine protectors. So they're just gonna protect the casing. Basically, if you drop it in a rock, you fall onto rocks or anything, that's just gonna save your cases from getting damaged. Again, I think that's a no-brainer on pretty much all bikes that have exposed engine cases. Looking further down, you've got the AXP bash plate. Again, I had one of them on the Norden. Really like them. They're nice and quiet. I've got a friend with a aluminium bash plate, and you can hear every stone just ting 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 banging off it, whereas these are really nice and quiet. They flex a little bit more on impacts. I've not had any big impacts on this yet, but the Norden, that sort of covered the bottom of the tanks, and when you laid it down, that's where the weight was sat, and 220 kilo bike, that never damaged the bash plate. So I went with AXP again. The fit is spot on, quality's great, so yeah, I've got good trust in that. It's much more robust than the standard unit. The XP bash plate is really nice. That runs all the way underneath the bike and also protects the rear master cylinder mount and also the rear linkage, which is a really nice feature. So again, it's more about protecting the bike for me, a lot of these modifications. Yeah, so looking at protection with the cases and the bash plate, I've also fitted the Outback Motortech crash bars. So they wrap around the front here, there's a brace going across the middle to brace them both. For me, it was about protecting the radiator. I've seen quite a lot of posts online. The radiator is literally just the edge, runs right into these plastics, so if you drop it and have an impact on here, I've seen a lot of people cracking radiators. These are really nice quality, the fit's absolutely perfect. I've not tried them out yet, thankfully. I've not dropped the bike yet, but it gives me peace of mind that for most instances it's going to protect that radiator. Again, much like the Norden, I went with a lot of the Vanash products. Great company, small company, makes proper high-end, nice quality stuff. They're well designed, well thought out. So I've got the Adventure foot pegs on. I took these off of the Norden and put them onto the 701. They're a much bigger platform than the standard foot peg, protrude a bit wider, and they have loads of grip. So yeah, I've paired that up with the rear brake lever from Vanash. That's way more robust than the standard one. I've seen a lot of instances where someone's dropped it, it's contacted the ground, and the lever's actually folded up and punctured the engine case. Lovely bit of kit. On this side of the bike, I'll bring the camera around. And then on this side, we have the Vanash case saver, RNG engine cover as well, both sides. This is a really nice bit of kit. Like I say, peace of mind, if your chain does snap, it's not going to come flying forwards and go through your engine cases. Also got the foot from Vanash on there as well. On the back here, filler cap. So something I really didn't like about the standard cap was it was flush with the fairing. And there's a gap around the edge, a couple of mil gap, and when you put your key in, turn it, you go to take your cap out, you've been riding in mud and all of this is all covered in mud. The mud settles in around the edges. And there is a little spout inside when you take the standard cap out, but there's quite a high chance that some of that mud can drop into the tank, which is just a real design flaw, I think, for the standard bike. So the Vanash unit, that adds a much longer spout, and then it's a keyless, so you're not going to snap your key either, which is another bonus, with a little tether. So you've got a lot less chance of one, snapping your key, and two, dropping a load of shit inside your fuel tank. So again, as with all the parts, really well made, great bit of kit. This is the rear luggage rack and the Vanash fuel cap. I'll say it's a really nice, well made bit of kit. I decided you can tether it to one of these 3 bolts. I just didn't like how the tether was so sort of tied back on itself, so I just drilled and tapped a nice little M5 hole in here. So yeah, you're not going to lose that. And then the final piece from Vanash that I've added is down the rear disc saver. Whether the riding that I do really warrants that, you'd probably argue maybe not, but going forward I want to push myself and learn more, so it's a really nice bit of kit. I'm a sucker for CNC billet parts, and that's all one big billet, beautiful bit of machining. That's got the caliper carrier and also the disc guard is all incorporated into one, so yeah, I mean, it looks sick. Other bits, I've got the Moto tail rack. I haven't got the extension plate at the moment. I don't ride with any luggage, but this is like a really nice handhold for when you're moving the bike about. If you drop it, something to grab hold of. You know, when you're moving about, you get in sticky situations. It's nice to have something solid to grab hold of, rather than just a bit of plastic. Again, made absolutely beautifully. Fairly simple to install. You do need to drill a couple of holes in the plastics, but they have got from factory the indentations in the back of the plastic where to drill, so it's pretty straightforward. Anybody can do it themselves. So I've got the Moto tail rack. I've also got the heel guards just for a little bit of protection, stop my boots rubbing the swing arm. And I've also, again, I'll bring the camera around and show you, I've got the Moto handlebar clamp, the top clamp. So this has got a variety of holes in it, so you can mount different devices to your handlebars. So it's just really nice and handy if you're going to run a phone and a tablet or sat nav. You've got loads of options of where to mount. That's the Moto top mount. So that's a really nice bit of kit. That's got all the various holes in for mounting all your different devices. Also from them I've fitted, which you can't see, is the subframe reinforcement kit, just for peace of mind. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Vanash fork guards. These are beautiful, carbon fibre. They just slot over the standard fork legs and just protect it from, if you're riding behind mates and stuff and getting roosted, you always see fork legs are covered in dings and scratches and stuff, so they're just going to protect a little bit from that. I have one other part on the way, which I've sort of waited before I decided to bite the bullet and go for it. So I have got on the way the Cuba link, lowering link for the rear. So I'm 5'8" and 30-inch leg roughly. I've done 1,000 miles or so now with the bike, and I've found that it is just a little bit too tall for me. That was one of my big concerns when I bought the bike. It's quite a jump up from the Norden, and I felt the Norden was tall. Whereas this bike, I can't get, if I sit in the centre of the seat, both feet are completely off the floor. I have to sort of sit off the side of the seat, and then I can just get the ball of my foot on the floor. I've had a few times on this where I've ridden in between 4x4 tracks and there's quite a big drop either side, and I just think to myself, if I need to stop or I need to dab a foot down at all, you know, by the time you've then got a foot and a half deep trench either side, I'm miles away from getting my feet down. So yeah, I've gone for the Cuba link rear sort of dog bone linkages that just lower the back of the bike a bit. I've gone for 1.25 inch drop. I'll compensate a little bit dropping the forks through as well, but I think the bike does hit quite high on the rear, so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that fitted. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit more confidence. Like I say, it's not been a massive issue, but I think it's nice being able to put your feet on the floor. So yeah, that's what's coming. I haven't really got much else planned for the bike. Overall, that's the changes that I've made so far. The only other big change is the seat that I'm still researching. Again, it's quite a pricey part. There's options out there. I've looked at sort of 3 or 4 options and just pricing things up. I think that's something that will change soon. Later on this year I'll get to go for a seat. And then I think I'll be really happy with how the bike is. There's not much else that I'd like to change. I'll keep you updated. Yeah, if I add anything else, I'll show you. But yeah, keep an eye on the channel, give us a like, subscribe, all that jazz. Be much appreciated. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.